Dr. Ellis for 6 minutes, please.
Thanks very much, Chair, and thanks, Minister, for being here once again. A question, did we hear testimony in this committee that the Deputy Chief of the Vancouver Police has testified that 50% of the dilaudid seized is diverted from so-called safe supply?
I am familiar with the testimony of Fiona Wilson. However, she did state that we strongly support the notion of not trying to wrest ourselves out of this crisis. She also referred to the importance of having a system where...
Thanks very much, Minister. In November 2021, is it true that fair-priced pharma imported 15 kilograms of heroin into British Columbia?
It seems that the member is out of date with his facts. Fair Price Pharma then removed that tweet and also had discussions with Health Canada verifying that they did not.
So are you suggesting, Minister, that there is no heroin imported legally into this country?
Heroin is imported legally into this country under strict licensing and permit regimes.
So, okay, well, whatever. Sunshine Earth Labs, Canadian-based bioscience company, announced in March of 2023 that they received an amendment to its controlled drug and substance dealer license to legally possess, produce, sell, and distribute opium, morphine, and heroin. On January 12, 2023, it received a similar amendment for the sale of cocaine in November of 2022. Is that true?
I would have to refer to our officials on that, but I will emphasize that any company in this country that has a license is for medical
that's fine.
use
if you don't
and
know the
research
answer,
purposes.
just please get some. You know we have short time. Just find someone who can answer it. Is there anybody back there that can answer?
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Minister. Yes.
I think the framing of what companies do when they do have licenses to import controlled substances is important for the record.
I tend to agree with you, but the time for this exchange is complete. I expect that perhaps one of the other questioners will allow you to come back to that topic. Go ahead,
And I will
Dr.
defer
Ellis.
to the experts to answer Dr.
Thanks very
Ellis's
much.
question.
You know, I guess all we get from this committee from the ministers is non-answers. If there's nobody down there that can answer a question, why do they even agree to come?
I will defer to one of our health committee officials to answer the specific question on that license.
I asked you a very specific question. Anybody down there can answer it.
I think we would have to get back to the member on his question with respect to the specific company information that he's looking for. We don't have it on hand.
Great. Certainly table it with the committee. We'd appreciate that. Is it also true that Safe Supply Streaming Company announced on January 30th, 2024, that they underwent an official inspection by Health Canada for the acquisition of a dealer license? Yes or no?
I defer to officials who met with them.
And so, Minister, you confirming that your officials have met with this company having a dealer's license for opium, morphine, heroin, cocaine?
Confirm that they will answer your question.
So have they met with this company?
Again, Mr. Chair, I think with respect to specific meetings with specific companies, we'd be happy to get back to the member with the details, but we don't have them on hand.
It's interesting that the website of Safe Supply Streaming Company talks about a market of $360 billion in legal narcotics, including cocaine. Minister, it seems interesting that now we have companies in Canada getting licenses to, as I said, possess, produce, sell, and distribute opium, morphine, heroin, and cocaine, all under your Liberal government's idea of legalization. Is that true?
Mr. Chair, all of the narcotics listed by Dr. Ellis are legal and restricted are under strict regulations. They're also used for medical purposes in hospitals and also in research settings.
Interesting. So what I said specifically, Minister, is that they can legally possess, produce, sell, and distribute these drugs. Is that true?
Clearly, Dr. Ellis isn't interested in the importance of research science and medical treatment use of these highly regulated narcotics.
Excellent. So what you're telling me is that these drugs will never be legal to be used outside of research settings in our country. Is that true?
That is correct.
And oddly enough, it's stated that the Health Canada licenses are for research purposes only, as you have attempted to say. But the CEO of Sunshine Labs says since inception, we have been proactively pursuing amendments to our dealer's license to include MDMA, coca leaf, cocaine, opium, morphine, and heroin to position ourselves as a legitimate, safer supply partner. Have you or your officials had meetings with this company?
Jen Sachs can answer with regards to meetings.
So we have met with Sunshine Labs. Sunshine Labs is a licensed dealer. They did publish misinformation. We did follow up last spring when that misinformation was published in terms of selling to the public. They are not authorized to sell to the public, but licensed dealers can conduct certain activities with controlled substances for medical and for research purposes, depending on the substance and depending on their license.
Don't you think on behalf of Canadians it's very concerning that a former medical officer of health in BC set up a company to import heroin into this country, and now the current Minister of Health there, and with your cooperation, Minister, is attempting to legalize other substances in this country. Is that not concerning to you? Should Canadians be concerned about that? I know I am.
I think it's important that we address the facts with regards to Fair Price Pharma and not speculation. Dr. Perry is an esteemed and well-respected physician. Fair Price Pharma is an early-stage company looking at research potential in addressing substance use and addiction, and consults with Health Canada on what are the proper channels and regulatory bodies.
Thank you, Dr. Ellis, and thank you, Minister. And next, Ms. Sidhu, please, for 6 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to thank the Minister and all the officials for being here with us today. First, Minister Sachs, I believe you wanted to add more information with regards to Dr. Ellis' question. I would like to give you a few seconds to answer them first.
Thank you. And through you, Mr. Chair, just to clarify, any company that seeks to engage with Health Canada with regards to inquiry on licensing or permitting on what is an extremely rigid regime in which we must comply according to international treaties and the INCB, requires that all regulatory standards are in place, and they can only import or export for medical treatment use or research.